Bitcoin keeps on dumping like crazy. Literally, there was never an easier time to short Bitcoin because literally we have dropped from an all-time high of 126 all the way lower to 79k or 80k. I'm going to tell you guys right now why Bitcoin has hit a massive support zone. However, how I had not yet longed Bitcoin because obviously I need to be patient because Bitcoin has a real possibility of falling much lower. I think 74k or even 70k is a real possibility because as you can see right now on the chart, we had kept on with Bitcoin on a daily basis. Basically, guys, yesterday we made a live stream. We went live at 10 p.m. and we had explained the drop live. As you can see, we had Bitcoin fall all the way lower on the live at 86k. However, yesterday I made it quite clear, guys, that I'm not going to long Bitcoin yet, even though we had hit 87, 86. I told you guys to wait because the closest area for a reasonable support is only way lower at 82 to 84. And right now we have hit the zone of interest for me. However, I'm going to tell you now, guys, why I have not yet longed Bitcoin, even though, yes, on the higher time frame, I'm quite happy about holding on into my shorts for quite a long. I still do have my all-time high short, and I also got this one from 106. As you can see, a perfect short taken from a fake out of the highs and then all the way lower to be had till 80k. However, right now I still decide, to be honest, to be waiting and patient until we open the New York session because obviously I'd rather get a confirmed much higher probability entry to long rather than jumping into a random bounce, maybe catch the knife as they call it, and then maybe have the price fall even lower because technically Bitcoin hasn't even confirmed, I think, let's call it 4 hours of us being inside this area. So I need to be patient. Yes, I'm exactly happy, to be honest, about the job. However, I'm going to be waiting for lower, and also I'm going to be waiting for much more time, allow much more time before taking any longs. If you can see right now on the 1 hour time frame, basically we had lost 84. I told you guys on the Telegram channel, if you do not follow me, make sure that you're following me on the free Telegram channel because yesterday I told you guys that I'm going to be waiting for lower, and even on the morning today I told you guys that I'm going to be waiting patiently for much lower prices and I'm going to be waiting for a better setup. Hence why today we're going to watch and see whether we get offered an easier setup because obviously right now we are still range bound within 82k to 84k, so we are within the goods zone to support, to long the support. However, I'd like to be patiently waiting. I'd much rather maybe miss out on longing the low. If this would come out to be the low, I'd much rather miss out on this being the low and long in the low, and I'd much rather wait for a better confirmation. Say maybe we go to 87 and then wait for a little dump and then try to long here. So I'd rather long this rather than long in the exact low of the move because obviously if you had tried to long Bitcoin, let's just say for the past 2 weeks, you could have much likely had lost money because obviously shorting had never been any easier on Bitcoin, especially for the past, let's just call it 2 weeks. We had been literally calling for a fake pump and shorting every single pump. And had you just shorted every single little pump, as you can see on Bitcoin, you could have printed lots and lots of money. Hence why it does not make sense to randomly long. Now, it is going to be a risky long to be taken here. So I'd much rather hold on to my winners, hold on into my shorts, and then waiting patiently for order flow confirmation. Lots of shorts being stuck in at the lows, and also for a bit of a market structure shift in terms of at least the lower time frame. I'm going to keep a look on the 15-minute time frame, wait for the New York session to be open, I think in around an hour, and then make the decision whether this is going to be an area to long or not. So I'm going to be waiting and patient on Bitcoin. That also takes us to ETH because ETH has finally hit our target in terms of support. Ever since ETH had lost 3400, I was saying, guys, and telling you guys that if we lose this area, if we lose this important volume area, then I'm going to be expecting and waiting for a huge, massive drop on ETH. And we actually just saw that. We literally went down at around 22% after losing that area. Hence why I'm quite proud of that fact. However, I too haven't yet long ETH. So no ETH longs or Bitcoin for me. I'm going to be waiting patiently. I'm not going to try and brag and show off me long in the bottom. I'd rather miss out on the exact bottom, if this would come out to be the bottom, and then wait for a better confirmation after we hold on into 84. So let's just wait for 84.5 to be reclaimed and then make a better decision whether I'd like to jump in along this move or wait for lower, because obviously, as I've mentioned from the beginning of this video, that if we actually does not manage to hold on onto the 84k zone of interest of support, then I can see an immediate easy drop to at around 69k for at least, to be honest. So I'm not saying that this would happen, but please understand that longing randomly or catching the knife could be actually super risky and super dangerous. Hence why you either have to get in right now with the understanding that maybe you're going to probably lose the long, or wait for a patient much better confirmation, because obviously losing 84, losing 82 would probably mean us dropping all the way lower to 67, 69. Hence why you have to be cautious and also patient along us hitting this important zone.